All right, Christy, thank you. 7 News is your local election headquarters. With just under 2 hours to go, voters are still heading to the polls to cast their ballots in the South Carolina primaries. We have team coverage tonight on the biggest races across the state.
As you said, Tom, again, the polls are open for another 2 hours. You will have to be in line by 7 o'clock to vote. It's been a busy day at some of the polling locations. There have been some problems there as well. So let's start with 7 News anchor Diane Lee. You see live at Greenville County Square tonight. Diane, what kind of problems are they having?
Well, Gordon, unfortunately, quite a few. I'm in front of the voter registration and election office. This is the place where election issues are solved, at least in Greenville County. And they've been pretty busy today, from broken machines to incorrect ballots, even a power outage in a different area of the upstate. Polling sites have had to do some major troubleshooting on problems this primary day.
Taylor's Elementary, one of 3 confirmed sites where some personal electronic ballots decided not to work this morning. Election staff quickly brought in new machines to that school, as well as Tigerville and Haywood Forest. And while it was smooth sailing at most precincts,
we thought we'd have to wait, but it wasn't too bad.
No, they didn't have a crowd in there right now.
Some voters at Woodmont Middle were handed the wrong ballot before poll workers realized the error.
We had an issue. This was a human error situation. The person who was looking at the screen where the voter is was looking in the wrong place for the district, picked up the wrong district. How many people were affected by that, I have no idea at this point. But we know that some people were not given the proper ballot on the machine.
Those voters will unfortunately not be able to vote again, but the problem was identified quickly and fixed.
Here at the precinct at St. Matthews in Greenville, it wasn't broken machines, but a delay in getting some of them booted up that left a handful of voters having to fill out paper ballots until they discovered that on the Republican ticket there were 2 copies, one that omitted the District 4 race.
But at least that precinct had power, which is more than we can say for the Ennery Baptist Church polling site in Spartanburg County. A car crash near there took down a power pole, and with it, the lights. Built-in backup power in the machines kept them running for a while, and the site also had paper ballots, as well as light pouring in through the windows.
I just thought that they just left the lights out and forgot to turn them on. But it really had no effect whatsoever on my voting. As quick and as normal as all.
I'm glad we voted here.
Yeah, good thing we didn't have that at our precinct.
Yeah, that's for sure. Now, issues, of course, are bound to arise on a day like to this. At the majority of these precincts, it was really a smooth process. And you still have time to go check out your sample ballot, which we have linked to WSBA.com, and you'll find on scvote.org. If you do head down to the polling places, of course, you have less than 2 hours at this point, but make sure to bring your photo ID. Live in Greenville, Diane Lee, 7 News.
Diane, a question about the people who were given the wrong ballot for a different district. Do you know if those votes will count? Did somebody who voted vote in a district in which they do not live?
Yeah, unfortunately, those particular ballots, those voters cannot redo their votes. And the election office will be certainly making that decision this week. What they might consider is to have some of the races that were supposed to be in the right precinct anyway count, and then other ones that were unfortunately on the ballot, though that they were not supposed to be in that precinct, not count. But that's something we're going to be taking a much closer look at after the polls close and as the elections officials make those very difficult decisions, Gordon.
Yeah, no kidding. I mean, there may be some very close races where that matters tonight. Diane Lee, thank you.
Candidates for governor were also out at the polls casting their votes. The highest profile race is for South Carolina governor. Among Republican candidates, John Warren voted this morning in Greenville. Catherine Templeton voted in Charleston. Incumbent Henry McMaster cast his ballot in Columbia. 7 News' Ann Maxwell is live tonight in Columbia covering the race for the gubernatorial nomination. Good evening, Ann.
Good evening. Today is the day these gubernatorial candidates have been hitting the campaign trail hard for months, raising lots of money, but now it's all up to the voters. The crowded field for the governorship of South Carolina will be getting smaller after Tuesday's primary, as voters choose who they want to see run in the November general election. 3 candidates are running on the Democratic ticket: Marguerite Willis, James Smith, and Philip Noble. However, South Carolina has been a solidly red state in recent years. 7 News has spoken with 3 Republican candidates who have actively campaigned in the Upstate: current Governor Henry McMaster, Catherine Templeton, and John Warren.
We feel great. We're excited. We've run an honorable campaign. It has resonated with the conservatives across the state, and we're excited for tonight.
Catherine Templeton says she's also looking forward to the primary.
I'm so excited. You know, the things I have control over, I feel very good about. The people who know my heart, who know my record, who trust Governor Haley's judgment, who trust President Trump's judgment, I feel good that they're going to come out today and make sure we have bold conservative new leadership in South Carolina.
Governor Henry McMaster's hopes are high as well.
I feel this could go well. We've been working real hard, going all over the state. It really is a pleasure to have the opportunity to go all over the state and meet people. But everywhere I go, people are happy, they're excited, they know we're going in the right direction.
However, Democratic candidate James Smith says he believes the state should go in a different direction.
When you talk to the people of our state, they're far more independent. They're ready to look at somebody who has good common sense solutions to address the problems that we face. And the fact is they've had pretty much one party total control of our state for 20 plus years, and that has not always served South Carolina well.
In Columbia, Ann Maxwell. And as Gordon mentioned earlier, voters have just under 2 hours to get to the polls still. And if you need to find out where your poll location is somewhere near you, you can go to scvotes.org. In Columbia, I'm Ann Maxwell, 7 News.
Yeah, and we'll see if there's an outright winner tonight or if we're back in 2 weeks for a runoff, as the political observers have been predicting. Ann Maxwell, thank you.
Just the governor's race we're keeping an eye on tonight. If you check your screen here, there are some important seats up for grabs in Congress, including the 4th Congressional District. That's the one held now by Trey Gowdy. But remember, he's announced he's leaving office. It's a crowded race, especially among Republicans. There are 12 candidates hoping to win that primary vote. There are also 5 Democratic candidates running for that same primary. The winners will face the Republican winner in the November general election. In Congressional District 5, all eyes are on the Democratic primary in particular tonight. Archie Parnell was expected to win handily. He was in that special election for that seat not long ago and then go on to face GOP incumbent Ralph Norman in the general election. But last week, reports surfaced that Parnell abused his wife 45 years ago. There are 3 other Democrats in the race: Mark Ali, Steve Lowe, and Disney Moore.
We're also keeping a close eye on races for the South Carolina House of Representatives. In District 25's Democratic primary, local activists Jack Logan and Bruce Wilson are vying for the seat held currently by Leola Robinson Simpson. And in District 21, Republican incumbent Phyllis Henderson is being challenged by Bobby Cox. And voters in Cherokee County will make their voices heard in a hot race for sheriff. Brianna Smith is in the studio tonight breaking down that race for us. Brianna.
This has been a big one, Tom. Two-time incumbent Sheriff Steve Mueller is facing off against Brian Blanton, the son of a former sheriff. Now, at an event last night, Sheriff Mueller and Brian Blanton focused on their experience in law enforcement. Sheriff Mueller being in office for 8 years and a former highway patrolman. Blanton has worked for the city police department for nearly 10 years. Another big issue they focused on was crime. Mueller says he's decreased violence in the county since becoming sheriff, while Blanton says there's still room for improvement.
You have to make a choice. Do you want your voice to be heard in the sheriff's race?
I asked that the Democratic Party consider me also. Like I said, we do have a job to do.
Blanton's father was the sheriff that Mueller beat during the election 8 years ago. Now, they are both running as Republicans, so tonight's election will likely determine the result of November's election as well. Gordon?
All right, Brianna, thank you. No matter which party you align yourself with, if you are going to the polls today, you've got some options with the candidates you choose. Aaron Rodgers live at Springfield Baptist Church in downtown Greenville with more on the potential for runoff elections. It's a high potential, Aaron.
It is. That's what all the experts are telling me, Gordon. And voting has been pretty steady here at Springfield Baptist Church, as you can see. But they're telling me that what's interesting about this precinct is that the voters here are pretty evenly split between Democrats and Republicans. Although no matter which party you align yourself with, on either ballot, the most contested race is going to be that 4th Congressional District race, where there are 12 candidates running on the Republican side and 5 on the the Democratic side. Now, both political party leaders in Greenville County think with the number of candidates, it will be unlikely for any candidate to get the needed 50% plus one to win. So they say runoff elections are likely. Runoffs actually started in South Carolina in the late 1800s when it was primarily a one-party state. Today, runoffs are mostly a practice held by southern states, and in South Carolina politics, just because a candidate gets the highest percentage of votes, it doesn't mean that they will win the party nomination for the seat.
People want to make the runoff, but they're not too worried about where they come in on tonight as long as they make the runoff. We know in the past, Senator Jim DeMint did not win his first primary race. He won in the runoff. Congressman Jeff Duncan did not win in the 3rd District in the primary. He won in the runoff. So it's not over for a candidate just because they didn't come in first.
Now, if there are any runoff elections, that election will be held in 2 weeks. Live in Greenville, I'm Erin Rogers, 7 News.
Erin, thank you. And all the reporters you just saw live in the field will be part of our complete coverage of the primary elections all evening long. You can stay up to date for results on all of these races and all of the other ones that are being contested tonight, including Attorney General as they come in tonight, 7 News and WSPA.com.